It's Friday on Mornings on Main Street. Welcome in. Chris Yao, Justin Kulik with you on this finally Friday edition. A beautiful day in downtown Nashville. As you can see, folks walking around downtown having a good time. Hope you guys are having a good time as well. We got construction workers on tops of buildings this morning. We've got all kinds of great stuff right here. We got birds flying across the screen, birds flying high. You know how I feel.
Love that song. Great song.
Justin, what's up, man?
What's up, man? How are you?
Oh, I'm just up like the Christmas decorations still on Broadway.
Man, I finally had to take down mine. So I have correlated that Christmas decorations are very similar to Halloween costumes, where they're super overpriced and they're only meant to last for the few days that you need them. Putting them back up it's like, well, you just have there's a sort of animosity where you're like, I'm not going to see you for a whole year. Peace. And the next year,
So it's I saw a meme the other day that said, "Me in January stuffing Christmas decorations into random boxes. That's a problem for another day. Me in December, son of a
yeah, never can get ahead of it, man.
like God, how did I mess that up? Oh man."
Yeah, you're disappointed in your past yourself. You're like, look, man, talk about yourself. All you do is wrap up the cord. Just wrap up the cord.
Just wrap up listen, it's not hard. No, we only have like maybe 30, 35 ornaments on the tree anyway. And they're really not like they're not that difficult to deal with. So
Is it more like the balls or the like?
no, we have no balls. Like we have gnomes, acorns, these little like they look like bracelets. It's kind of weird. I don't know exactly. And then we've got a couple of like, sentimental things like baby's first Christmas and that sort of thing.
Oh,
But literally like we have almost nothing on our tree. We have the two elf legs that you've seen sticking out of the top.
oh yeah, that's a good. Well, it'll grow over time, right? I feel like that's up to Charlie and your newborn to get going with the ornaments. Because when I was a kid, I was making ornaments. Felt like every day.
Well, yeah, because that was how teachers got out of doing anything.
Right, exactly.
But no, so there are two types of people in this world. There are people who stuff their Christmas tree to where you don't even know there's a tree there. Like it's just
Yeah.
a tree of ornaments. There may or may not be branches in there.
And it weighs like 1,000,000 pounds. Because
1,000,000 pounds.
gosh,
Or there's people like us who, the green is the tree is the decoration. Like the
exactly.
ornaments on the tree are just kind of, to kind of tie in the rest of your decorations in the room for me.
Right.
So like we have a little sign that says snuggle up gnomies. And then like on the mantle here at Christmas, we have a big matter of fact, hang on.
I love the fireplace in the background. Classy.
I have this guy.
Yes.
So he sits over here by the tree or by the fireplace, and we've got 5 or 6 other little gnomes that hang out. So like that's kind of our little door hanger outside that says gnome for the holidays. We like gnomes.
Big gnome people. What are you gonna do?
Big gnome people. That's an oxymoron there, right?
Yeah,
We are little gnome people.
there's 0 gnomes in the NBA that we know of. I guess.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
that's
a
great.
huge fan of the like oversized little snowmen. Love them. Like little like ceramic snowmen. It's jolly. I know
Mhm,
Santa's
yeah.
a jolly one, but I really should have a visual like you did because it kind of sounds weird just describing it.
No, I got you. I know what you mean.
But yeah, I mean, I'm glad I'm glad it feels like a movement forward. If kind of like when the decorations go back up in the box. Okay.
Well, yeah, until, you take those 4 steps backwards in November when you
Start
start
acting
putting
like
the
it's
tree
never
up and
been
none of so we actually have to buy a new tree next year. So we're gonna move this tree into either the other living room or into Charlie's room because when the power went out over the Christmas holidays, it busted some of the lights.
Ooh,
So like the whole like part of the tree, like the bottom 2 thirds of the tree are fine, and then
Mhm.
the very top of the tree, the lights are on, but there's that one strip right about eye level that the lights are not on.
Right where you need it.
Right where you need it. So I'm like, I mean, there's probably a way to, replace them maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know, we're gonna see if we can get some like, because 'cause we've got a couple of little replacement lights, so if, like, one of them works, then we'll just go get a bunch of replacement lights or whatever,
You're like
but
Vrabel with the Titans roster.
exactly, just
Try to fix it, you know?
plug and play with whatever you got in the in the back. It may be a red or a purple light from a
We'll have to
different
look in the very, very back and see what we got, but I think there's a O-lineman there.
yeah, we'll grab a light from the colored lights tree and just be that one little red light over there in the
Playing his heart
side.
out.
Yeah. So it's like that's where Rudolph scraped his nose on his way out. Uh I mean, I don't know.
He's like, "What was that?"
But we have, again, we have the sunroom back here, and it's kind of like that's kind of our oasis or whatever.
Mhm,
But you kind of want a tree in the main living area. So
mhm.
we're probably gonna end up buying another tree anyway. So I mean, it's
What's
kind of
what's the push or what is the push you would need to get a real tree?
um it's funny, we actually have a Dyson vacuum, so like I would probably be cool with it because those are so good.
Bro,
Like,
yep,
I don't mind real trees. The one thing I hate about real trees is I mean, one, you have to keep them, hydrated.
fed, yeah.
But two, like when you bring them in and take them out, like you have to immediately shower
Oh, man, it feels like
because you're
they're stabbing
itchy.
you. Yeah.
Oh, it's so itchy. It's the
So
worst. But growing up, my mom always had real trees. So
and the experience to go getting 'em is
yeah, that's
cool.
the best part, right?
Saw it down like a lumberjack.
I don't know about that. I'm just gonna go to like the Boy Scouts farm that already has them cut.
And honestly, we haven't done that saw thing in years. Home Depot.
Oh, that's right. You said you used to do that.
Oh, yeah.
You
Oh,
guys would actually go out and cut a tree.
to the TF tree farm.
That is that I mean, I guess if I had boys, it would probably be a better option, but I don't know that like my girls are gonna
What's
go
funny,
out there and like, they've got their little plaid lumberjack shirts on and
they'll be quick to choose. My sister and my mom are always like, "Alright, we know which one we want." It's like, "I bet y'all do." Then me and my dad every year look at
would
each
have
other
to
like,
go get it. Yeah.
"Who's gonna do this? Is it you or me?" And I lose that battle every time.
Yeah, of course you did.
Ever since I
That's that's why we have kids, so they can do things for us that we don't wanna do. It's
I'm like,
literally
"You
the only
can't
reason to have
feel up
children.
to it." Exactly. Same with and that circles back to the ornament things. Don't buy ornaments.
You
Get
don't
your
have to
own
buy
thing.
ornaments anymore. Well, and so that would be cool. Like, you have one tree that's kind of pretty, and then the other tree that's for your kids.
Yeah, it's got some character.
So that was my mom was that way. My aunt was very like meticulous about her tree. Everything was blue and white, and it was so perfect and had all the cute ornaments on it. And then my mom's tree was nothing but paper and paper clips
I love it. Do y'all
because it random colors, just markers everywhere.
just like, why not, once a year? Do y'all do garland? I feel like garland is a
No.
it's an old thing, isn't it?
Garland and tinsel,
Tinsel, yeah.
worst things ever.
Oh my gosh, it's like
That's why I don't
confetti.
have a real tree because I don't want to have to pick that stuff up.
That's like confetti for a non-fun thing.
It, it
Could you imagine?
is. And you find it year around. It's like that stinking Easter grass.
Yes, bro, and or like sand when you went to the beach 10 years ago
Oh,
in your
I'm still
backpack.
finding sand from like last September.
It's like, "I've been to the beach in 5 years."
Like, geez, what are we doing here?
I agree, yeah, the pine needles is a different beast. It always smells good, though.
It does.
The fun thing is hearing the ornaments every now and then hitting the ground because of lack of water.
It's like, oh, that's the alarm that says we need to put some water in the bucket.
One of the 80-pound ornaments has fallen.
And see, another problem with having a real tree and having to put water is learned the other day that Charlie likes to play in the water bowls. Um, I had a friend bring their dog over and we put a little water bowl out for it. And I look over and Charlie's got her hand just in it, just the whole hand in the water bowl.
You're
Like,
like, she doesn't do this a lot. It's just
No, so that's the thing is like she wasn't playing it, she wasn't splashing it around. She just
What's
literally
this?
had her hand just sitting in it, playing with something else.
Oh, that's so funny.
And she did this the other day. We have a Fry Daddy on our counter,
Mhm.
and she was able to open the Fry Daddy and put her hand in the oil.
She's just figuring out what fits doesn't
I I mean, just stuck her and just stayed there.
in the oil. Wow.
Wasn't playing with again, just left her hand in the vegetable. It's so weird.
That's funny,
I
dude.
mean,
That is
for a
hilarious.
child who can count to 10 and can sing her ABC song at 2 years old, not even 2, like, there are some things you go, "Gosh, she's so smart," and then the other thing is like, "Why is she
Brings you back down to earth.
like, why is she doing this?" Like, smart children don't do this.
I'm just
But
picturing
she's
you
just
like,
learning. I mean, I know
right.
she's learning. Like, I understand she's learning about, the feel and the texture of different things, but it's so crazy. I'm like, "God, what are we doing?"
It's funny, dude. It's like that's her way of assessing something. I like it. It's fair. It's stern. It's like I'm gonna get everything out of this, whether it's good or bad. We're gonna get both sides. I'm just gonna put my
There you
hand in
go.
and pull it out. Might be great. Might be the worst thing.
It
We're gonna
might
find
it
out.
might not be fun at all, but we're gonna find out today.
I will let you know, Father, if this is gonna be a thing.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's been crazy, but it has been it's been a great experience. And Christmas, like you said, Christmas taking down the decorations is always kind of sad
hmm
because Christmas season is over, but it's also a new year. So
Yeah, and same new us. Oh, maybe next year. Dude, I've been listening to nothing but Corey Smith lately because of our
have you ever heard the song Drugs?
by him.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
So you should definitely go listen to Drugs. It's it's about healthcare, not
Right.
those kind of drugs. It's about, like
Pharmaceuticals.
like Zoloft and
Right.
different things.
I
But
figured it's funny because if I wish I wouldn't have known that we were talking about Corey Smith before you asked that because I would have probably reacted way different.
no, I've never listened to Drugs. What kind of drugs are you taking?
Sit down, man.
That is a terrible idea.
Have you heard his one about country music? I'm sure you have.
Oh yeah,
Oh, dude,
it's
so good. Who do you think he's talking about? And for those that don't know, it's a
Jason
great song.
Aldean.
I think he's talking about Justin Moore.
Oh, it could be Justin Moore.
Every place is a
I
small
don't know.
town. Or Luke Bryan, maybe.
Yeah, it could be. It
I guess
could be
Eminem
Justin
Shane.
Moore. I think it's Jason Aldean though.
Could be. That
But
lines up.
yeah, I don't know.
Heard it
Anyway,
here first, folks. Beef between Corey Smith and J.O.
yeah, one of them is uber rich, the other is
Still trying to
not.
make it. Yeah.
So, but hey, we've got a beautiful day in Nashville, and so let's tell you about the rest of the weekend, which is not going to be as beautiful.
Yes, you're right. Before I lay the gloomy news of what the weather will be this weekend, I'm gonna cheer y'all up. And how am I gonna do that? With a joke. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
What's the opposite of a cold front?
A warm front.
A warm back.
Oh,
I'll give you another one. I just had it. Here we go.
I thought it was going to be a clever joke, and I was not going to
Right.
be anywhere close, and I was
know.
way too close.
It's the way I delivered the question, I should have said what's a cold front, not what's a cold front, because the emphasis on just wasn't
Yeah.
in there. Knock knock.
Who's
Clap.
there?
Snow.
Snow who?
Snow use. I forgot my name again.
Oh man. Oh man.
So that is your joke. That was a good one, right, dude? I heard your what was that joke you said yesterday? You said, "Why are chickens so cool?" or something like that. What was
No,
it?
why are they so funny?
Yeah, wait here. Say the whole thing because it's hilarious.
Why are chickens funny?
Why is that?
Because
Did you see it on TikTok?
yes.
Was it a kid?
Yes. 2-year-old. Told you I stole those jokes from 2-year-old.
Love it. The way he was like on his way to go do something, like he
Dude,
didn't
yeah,
have
he was just chilling. Like
Mom, get out of my face.
oh man, that's
But yeah,
so great.
today's weather, and shout out to Chris for his graphics, giving us for the next 3 days, So you guys don't have to look anywhere else for weather except right here. Mornings on Main Street today. It's going to be high 54, low 38. Seems like it's going to be pretty nice today. It's going to be the last day ever that it's going to be nice for this weekend. Seems like 3% chance of rain for today, 53% humidity, and 51 degrees tomorrow is the high, low 47. Those are really close together, so I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But I feel like the rain is going to make it about 35. And I know I said that like a guess, but I'm a meteorologist, guys. Okay, so I didn't. 71% humidity with a 50% chance of rain. Can we get a refund on that? And the next
That's
day,
rough.
yeah, it's no bueno. Next day, Sunday, is more
It
chance
says
of rain.
sunny, but it's actually going to be rain. I just forgot to change it to rain.
No, you're good. Yeah, 54 is the high, low 37, low 37, 82% humidity, which pretty sure means stay inside at all times.
It does.
And 65% chance of rain. So if you want to wear a rain jacket, you'll get really sweaty, but you'll need one the whole day. So that's your weather for this weekend. So get out there and enjoy it today. It's like I said, it's going to be the last time.
Did you make a New Year's resolution, Justin?
So I think it's a great idea, right? Like my track record with achieving them though is just not great. So I set really, really low ones. Like, so I do have one.
Like wake up every day.
Exactly. Like literally mine this year. I usually keep them to myself because people are out here like, I'm going to drop a lot of pounds or I'm going to get healthy. I'm trying not to ride the brakes as much. I'm doing pretty well so far this year.
So when you by riding the brakes, you mean like going downhill or?
Yeah, like my taillights being on a lot. Like
what do you mean? Like when do you ride your brakes?
Like down a hill basically, or if I'm like going over and I think a car is going slower in front of me, I'll ride it more. If I'm going to make a turn, I may ride the brakes a little bit too much and get in the turn lane, you know?
Okay, so pro tip, when you're going down a hill,
Mm-hmm.
do you know those the extra gears that you have, like third gear and such? Like
Yeah.
the little three. Okay, switch to that.
Whoa.
So just put your car in like in the 4 or the 3, right?
Okay.
Whichever one you have.
Right.
And it will steady your speed. Now it takes more gas, but it saves your brakes. So really it's a win-win.
Yeah. And if it helps me achieve New Year's resolution, and it's also something that can only be really quantified by me. Like no one's gonna at the end of the year be like, you did it.
At the end of the year, you can just say, you know what? I feel like I did a good job.
Yeah, the data is not really hard.
Do you know what my New Year's resolution is?
Yeah, what's yours, Chris?
To finish everything I stop. Darn.
You'll get there, man.
Let's take a look at traffic. Traffic is brought to you by our friends at 54 to Nashville area nonprofit serving older adults. They're a proud partner with the All of Us research program from the National Institutes of Health. Learn how you can help change the future of health by visiting our website, joinallofus.org/50forward. Justin.
Oh, what's up?
Things are looking mighty fine this morning.
Really green.
It's green like Kermit the Frog.
It's funny when we I feel like when we report that it's clear, it's like a nervousness. You know, it's like,
yeah, it's like, wow,
clear right now. Yeah, exactly.
So, right here, this is the only like slow moving traffic, and that is on 65 South, just south of the 6524 interchange. That's pretty much it. Everything else looks to be as clear as it can possibly be, unless you're in Spring Hill, of course, which that's part of the course. Outside of that, Murfreesboro's looking good today. Lebanon looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Clarksville, green all the way around Nashville, downtown loop included. So if you're out and about, enjoy. Yeah.
Keep it up, you know?
Isn't that something, man?
It is. It's funny, like it's kind of like, to me, parlays, like on betting apps. If someone would have asked me if I woke up this morning, one of the first questions, do you think there's a lot of traffic today? Probably would have said, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the best bet is to say yes.
Right. And I would have lost money.
Yeah. Would have lost that bet this morning.
Exactly.
It's sound like my mom. I got a tattoo.
Hey, you tatted up
a while back, and I went home and told my mom. I was like, it's a matching tattoo with Sarah. She has the exact same one, except mine has an S and hers has a C with a heart under it. And so I went home one day and I was like, yeah, check out this tattoo I got, Mom. And she was like, well, I would have lost that bet because you would have thought me last person to ever get a tattoo ever.
Wait, how big is it again?
It's super tiny. Like,
right. Yeah, that's cool.
And so,
nice.
Sarah has it on her left arm. I have it on my right arm. So like when we hold hands,
that is Instagram AF.
It really is. That's really why we did it.
Google the gram. Mom, I did it for the gram.
Literally, that's it. That's the only tattoo I have. It's the only tattoo I'll probably ever have.
She was like, "Where's your Harley?"
Right. No, but yeah. So it's the same thing. She was like, "Oh, would have lost that bet."
Yeah, what do you mean making bets with?
Oh man, well, we've got top 3 stories coming up here on Mornings on Main Street, so y'all stick around with us. That and much, much more coming up here on Mornings on Main Street on this Friday edition. We will be right back after we take a break, so stick around.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd. The goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Don't miss a minute of the action this season. Visit NashvillePredators.com/tickets to get your seats today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets. And we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
Walmart Supply Chain is hiring in Lebanon. Earn up to $22.25 an hour when you join our new fulfillment center. Enjoy competitive pay and premium perks, including 100% paid college tuition, 401k match, flexible schedules, a free Walmart Plus membership that includes discounts, and free Paramount Plus, paid time off, and so much more. Fulfilling work starts right here. Text JOIN to 240-240. That's JOIN 240-240 to apply now.
This is Eric Berner with Rock Castle Wealth Advisors. I help people in the pursuit of making their money live as long as they do. People hire me because I use a customized, individualized, and personal approach for the person I'm working with. Everyone's situation is different. If you've lost a spouse or a parent and want to make sure your inheritance is utilized and does not just disappear, I can help with that. Call me at 615-235-1058 or email Eric at rockcastlewealth.com.
When I made the decision to host the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night, Strike and Spare is where I turned. And what a wise decision that turned out to be. They have 5 locations in our area with family attractions. They're perfect for birthdays, groups and corporate outings, and holiday parties. For more info, it's simple. Go to strikeandspare.com.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think about calling for a ride. Nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that can happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Oh, there's your Cisco truck bringing you the vegetables. What are those? What is that? It looks like a beef pot roast.
Did you say zoom in? We can do that.
Yeah, what is that? Let's see here. Looks like a beef pot roast on the backside. Are those strawberries maybe in the hands? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm
like strawberries.
It's too many in one hand or in two hands. You know,
dude,
it's a lot.
Oh, I missed it. This bird keeps flying like right over my left shoulder and like into the glass is like trying to get in.
It's like, you get back out here, Yao. You have unfinished business. Is it still going it?
A bird in the hand is like two in the roost, right?
I don't understand that thing.
I don't know what that means.
I don't think anybody does, but it's provocative. Gets the people going.
Yeah. Okay. It's tried the other shoulder now.
Oh, can we get it in for an interview real quick?
This is so phenomenal. Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going on over here. Anyway, we have our top 3 stories. Let's get to it. Blue Angels pilots, United States Navy Lieutenant Commander Thomas Zimmerman and Lieutenant Commander Brian Vaught landed their performance aircraft at Smyrna Airport recently to conduct advanced planning for the Great Tennessee Air Show scheduled for June 10th through 11th. That's this year. Pilots met with more than 40 members of the advanced planning team for the air show, and the pilots arrived on one of the Blue Angels' distinctive blue and gold FA-18EF Super Hornet aircrafts. On the Blue Angels team, Zimmerman is the narrator and Vaught is the events coordinator. Zimmerman has accumulated more than 2,800 flight hours and 542 landings in an aircraft carrier. Vaught has accumulated more than 1,450 flight hours and 250 aircraft carrier landings. The Blue Angels are the United States Navy Flight Demonstration Squadron, which performs at air shows across the country. The team is led by Alexander Armadas, a native of Skanetz, Skanetles, Skanetles.
Oh man,
I have no idea. Whoever put that in, who cares where he's from? He's from New York. Holy crap!
Wait, can you spell it again for me one more time?
Can I spell it?
Yeah, you said there's some. Yeah, I'm trying to see.
Skanetles.
Scanatelarius.
Yeah, right. Anyway, Alexander Armadas joined the Blue Angels in 2022 and has accumulated more than 4,100 flight hours. His all-volunteer team has 17 officers and more than 100 sailors and Marines. 25 of the Blue Angels are actually women, so it's pretty cool.
I was gonna say we're like sitting here making fun of the dude's name. He's a pilot for the freaking.
No, not his name, just where he's from.
His hometown. You can fly.
Every hometown sucks. Let's be honest.
Fly away.
Has anyone ever loved their hometown? Other than Morgan Wallen, who apparently can't love any woman more than he loves his hometown. It's ridiculous.
I swear, I heard for the first 8 times I heard that song, I was like, I don't get this. Does he like the girl? Does he want to be with the girl?
I can't love you more than my hometown. The TikTok trend, like, imagine a guy telling you that in his hometown is, Lebanon.
Exactly. No, literally.
No.
Can't? Not even a little bit more? Like,
again, the event is June 10th through 11th, so make plans to attend now. State lawmakers will return to the Capitol next week to gavel in the 113th General Assembly at noon on Tuesday, January 10th. Here are 6 issues they're likely to address. Number one, abortion exceptions, except for rape and incest. Both Democrat and Republican lawmakers are discussing legislation to change Tennessee's total abortion ban, which took effect in August after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. State law currently does not allow exceptions for rape, incest, or medical emergencies threatening the life of the mother, requiring criminal prosecution of physicians who perform abortions, punishable by up to 15 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. Number two, child sex reassignment surgeries. Tennessee is the first state to consider legislation to ban permanent sex reassignment surgeries for transgender children. Last autumn, top Republicans condemned Vanderbilt University Medical Center for conducting gender-affirming procedures on minors who identify with a sex other than their biological one. VUMC has said its pediatric transgender clinic has not done genital surgeries on any children, but has performed an average of 5 top surgeries per year for minor patients with parental consent. Number three, toll lanes. Tennessee's Department of Transportation is seeking approval from the legislature to work with private companies to construct toll option lanes in the state's most congested areas. TDOT's proposal comes at the state's gas tax revenue is not keeping pace with the road project needs. Lee said he will not take on any debt to build or expand roads, and he opposes imposing tolls on all drivers. Third grade retention, a law passed in 2021, could hold back 73% of third graders at Metro Nashville Public Schools when it takes effect this year. Aimed at addressing COVID-19 learning loss, the law requires all third graders who do not meet or exceed expectations on annual TCAP tests to repeat their grade, complete tutoring, or attend summer school.
So that's where TCAP, that's where it matters. I always wondered, I know it's a government standardized testing, but I just never really knew it goes all the way up to the government.
Yeah, very important, apparently. We never took anything like that, so I took the ACT twice. So
Nice.
So anyway, school choice voucher expansion. They'll also talk about that because since the Tennessee Supreme Court found Lee's school choice voucher law to be constitutional last year, some lawmakers are seeking to expand the program. Students began applying to the Education Savings Accounts program this fall, and several hundred are now enrolled at private schools on the state's dime. And finally, funding for DCS. Last year, a scathing audit of this is the final thing they're going to do it.
My bad.
State legislature. Last year, a scathing audit of the Tennessee's Department of Children's Services found that the agency may have kept children in unsafe situations as it failed to respond to at least 34 accusations of sexual abuse, sexual harassment, or child neglect. The audit followed reports of children sleeping on DCS office floors for hundreds of nights last year and a 48% turnover rate for caseworker staff. I lost my headphone. And now our final story.
Like a bird attacked you.
One of Spring Hill's most historically significant citizens has died. Winnie Briegel, a Navy veteran who served as a coder during World War II, died at the age of 100 this week. In 1944, Briegel made the decision to enlist in the Navy. In her first year as a teacher, she asked to be released from her contract in order to enlist. The 21-year-old farm girl from Ohio taught Latin, Spanish, and English in the high school, and women with such backgrounds were highly sought for work as coders. She was assigned to the port director's office in Baltimore and spent a year delivering messages to ships from the office. Following that assignment, though, she was commissioned to a small group of 10 coders whose mission was to get messages throughout the Washington, D.C. area. We were a secret society. We were told that we weren't to tell anyone what we did, and we couldn't even talk about what we were doing among ourselves. Our job was to code and decode messages, she said. We were couriers with a leather pouch going all around D.C. and Baltimore carrying top secret messages. In order to be sure the messages were safe, we even had to carry a gun, she told me. Not sure if you're aware, but when the Axis powers would break the code, she was one of the ones who taught the new code and had to teach it to the others. We couldn't write them down, she said, so I had to keep it in my head, and that was pretty hairy sometimes.
Oh my God, I bet.
Here's the thing. Do you ever see the 2002 Nicolas Cage movie Wind Talkers?
No.
It's about the Navajo code, and that was the one code that was never broken by the Axis powers, and Winnie Briegel was one of the women who would send those coded messages to the Navajo via radio, and they would pass them along to troops in the Pacific. This woman was one of 10 people.
10 people?
Who
wow.
could know the Navajo code, send the Navajo code to the Pacific, and allowed us to win World War II.
Wow. That is insane.
I interviewed this woman 3 years ago, and
wow, that's crazy.
An incredible story this woman has, and I'm so sad to hear of her passing, but an actual American hero.
I mean, what a feather in the cap that is.
It really is. Here's the thing. After the war, she goes back home, and Congress had passed a law that said if you served in the war, that when you went back home, they had to give you your job or a job that was on the same level as the one you had before. Well, when she went to her teacher, she had like a 3-year contract, or her principal. So she had a 3-year contract. Well, she goes to the principal and is like, hey, I need out so I can go serve in the war and do this and do what I'm going to do. And so he's mad.
Right.
So she comes back, and guess who's still the principal? Old Mad Jack. So dude's mad, but he had to hire her. Like he was forced by law to hire her back. And she then taught 35 years in public high schools, and then she retired and went to Panama City Beach. She stayed in Panama City Beach for like 6 months and was like, I can't do this without, like, I can't not teach. So she ended up teaching another 20 years before she finally made her home in Murray County and passed away earlier this week.
Wow, what a fulfilling life. I hope I do a quarter of what that woman
No, we'll never come close.
Yeah.
Winnie Briegel, like I said, an actual American hero.
Literally.
And I was so fortunate enough to have the pleasure to speak with her. And man, what a seriously cool story it was. And she wrote me a letter after the story ran in the paper. And she said, she said, a lot of people have told my story over the years, but I liked yours the best.
No way.
Yep.
I would frame that. Did she?
So yeah, it's handwritten.
She
She sent me this picture that you see here is actually, she sent me an actual hard copy of the photo with that letter.
What a baller move. Oh my goodness, man.
It
like,
is,
be able to send a letter and like a headshot of yourself and like that be an actual awesome gift.
Like it's my Hall of Fame.
Absolutely, dude. That's something you can hang your hat on there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So anyway, Winnie Briegel, dead at 100, but man, what a life she lived. So
yeah, when you do the Pledge of Allegiance at the Titans games, this is who you're doing it for right here.
100%. 100%. So anyway, that's going to do it for your top 3 stories. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got Stephanie Miller this week in Clarksville. She's hanging out with some folks who are making some delicious drinks. So we're going to let her show you that right after this. Mornings on Main Street's back right after.
A man was critically injured following a crash early Friday morning. Officers at the scene said the victim was driving a pickup truck when he lost control of the vehicle. The pickup veered left and went into a ditch. A front seat passenger was wearing a seatbelt and escaped the crash without injury. The driver was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from the truck. He died at the scene. Law enforcement writes tickets to save lives.
This holiday season, the largest lantern event in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. After sunset, come see more than 1,000 Chinese lanterns. All new designs including mythical beasts, a fantastical North Pole village, even a dragon soaring over your head. Welcome back to Zoo Illumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Hit After Hit has become the baseball store in Tennessee. They have over 1,000 different models of gloves and over 1,500 wood bats. They also have several Iron Mike pitching machines as well as a Hit Tracks machine. If they don't have it, you probably don't need it. We're proud to call Hit After Hit the official shirt provider of the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor-trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links. Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
Welcome back to This Week in Clarksville. We are making our way back into this historic building that is home to Sanctuary on Main and are visiting with the creator behind the drinks.
I have Amanda Rush with us today. She is one of the co-owners. Amanda, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the science behind your beverages here at Sanctuary on Main.
So my background, I was a scientist in my previous life until I became a studio owner and a massage therapist and all that. And my business partner wanted to have a cafe in the shop, and I'm like, well, who are you going to get to run the cafe? And she's like, well, you could do it. I thought, well, I don't know anything about coffee or tea or anything like that. But I realized when I was being trained that it's the basic whole thing, concept of it is science. So depending on how fast or slow you pull an espresso shot, it will matter in the taste. So if it pulls too fast, then it's going to be like citrusy, acidic, and it's going to taste like a lemon. If it pulls too slow, you're going to get a burnt taste to it. So it really matters how you pull the espresso shot. So here at Sanctuary Main, I try to make, all my baristas, I train them to be able to weigh out every single thing that we do. So we weigh the portafilter, which is this little guy here. So we weigh it on the scale, pull the espresso, put it in there, and then when we put the espresso cup up here to pull it, we actually time it.
Okay.
So if it times in the right amount of time, it'll taste pretty good. If it doesn't, then it's not going to taste very good. So we have a little window, like 40 to 60 seconds is our window. So if it doesn't pull in that time frame, I have them re-pull it.
No kidding.
Yeah, because it makes such a difference in the taste of the coffee. And who would have known, like, all of that? I didn't know it either. I was like, oh, this is neat.
I'm sure a lot of people out there don't realize this. Well, I want to talk about your drinks that you have on the menu, because you guys have unique drinks when it comes to coffee flavoring. I've had mainly coffee here because I'm a coffee fanatic, but it's very unique in the flavors that you pair together. How long did it take you to create this menu?
It took us all summer. The summer before we opened, we worked on it for months because we were waiting for our espresso machine to get plumbed, and that took a while. So we just worked on recipes that whole time. So it's really, at first we made our own syrups because it was just cheaper. But then we realized that you get a more organic flavor with making your own syrups, and they're really easy to make. But I just would ask people, what kind of flavoring do you like in your coffee? And we just came up with some really great flavor combinations. Honey lavender is our #1 bestseller.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I don't know how we came across it, but I started doing some stuff with herbs. So we have a rosemary and sage latte that I also pair with the lavender, and we call it the Herby, and that one's really good. It tastes like a Thanksgiving meal, I guess, if that's what you want your coffee to taste like. But it comes out really well. And then we make our own Irish cream syrup too.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that one is popular.
Talk to us about the trial and error, because surely you didn't right off the bat hit all of these drinks spot on the first time. Did you have any pairings that you said, absolutely not, we can't do this, this is horrible?
There's one that I cannot get right. Like, I got it right the first time, and it was a chocolate orange mocha. And it was so good, and I cannot recreate it. But it was so time intensive and labor intensive because I had to freshly squeeze all the oranges and then steep the orange peel, and just to make it in bulk, it didn't come through. So that one was a failure, and I really trying to figure out how to make that one work. And we tried a raspberry syrup at Valentine's Day, and that one didn't pull through either.
Bummer.
So yeah, some of them just don't work. The only one that we don't make in-house is our pistachio syrup.
Okay.
Because when I researched how you would make pistachio syrup, I'm like, oh no, that's going to take all day long. So we do buy the pistachio syrup, but everything else is pretty easy to make. But yeah, my raspberry syrup and my orange syrup did not
turn out
the way I wanted. But I'm still holding out hope for the orange because it's amazing when I get it right.
So are we. We are now holding out hope for that as well. Well, talk to us about the drinks you're going to prepare for us today. So she is going to do one cold beverage and then one hot beverage that is a non-coffee hot beverage.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yes. So our biggest seller in the summer, and people just kind of went crazy for it and are really upset with me for taking it off in the fall, but it's a summer drink and it'll come back, is our honey lavender lemonade.
Okay.
So I'm going to make that for you. And then we have people come in that don't really want coffee, or they just don't, or they've already had their coffee and they don't want any caffeine. So we do have a selection of hot teas that we can make iced or whatever, but we also carry a bloom powder, which is a superfood latte. So they're all coffee free. There's one that has some matcha in it, so it does have caffeine. But it's a powder that we mix with some syrup and water, and then steam some milk, and so it's a really good alternative to a coffee. And I think we're the only people in town that use this powder, so you can't get it anywhere else.
Well, can't wait to try this. So Amanda's going to walk us through how to make these beverages. We're going to see the process. She's going to talk us through that. And then I have the pleasure of tasting it at the end.
So we start with a cup of ice. We're going to use our honey lavender syrup. You probably can smell that lavender. So the syrup is heavy, so it's always going to drop to the bottom.
Okay.
And then we'll pour our lemonade in. And so it starts to do this like layering effect because of the gravity of the syrup that'll drop. This is butterfly pea flower tea. It's really dark, dark blue. It's almost black. And so this stuff's really cool because it creates a color change when it hits the acid of the lemon. So then you end up with this tricolored drink, and then you just take a stir stick and stir it, and then it all turns purple. And that's our honey lavender lemonade. This is going to be our beetroot bloom coffee-free beverage. So we start out with, this is our matcha bowl. So this is called the Earth Bliss. It's beetroot and ginger. So we'll measure out about 4 grams of powder.
Oh, I can smell it.
Yeah, it smells good. And I tell the baristas you can just approximate how much goes in there. Ish is our favorite word. It's 4.0-ish. And then we're going to add about 20 grams of hot water. So I'm going to tear the scale out and just try to get as close to 20 as I can. Ish. And then I'm going to grab the simple syrup. So we put about 1/2 ounce of syrup in there. So it's nice and rich and red. And then I'm going to whisk this with the matcha whisk. So just try to get all of that powder to kind of dissolve. This one's really earthy. You probably can smell that too.
I can.
Yeah, it's really good. This one I'll drink in the summer over ice, and it's just, I don't know, it's nice and refreshing, and it's kind of like a dessert after a lunch for me.
So you can do hot or cold?
Yeah, you can do hot or cold. we'll get that all mixed up. All right, and then we'll pour it in our cup. So it doesn't yield a lot of fluid, really. And this would be a smaller cup than what I would serve it in, but at least, I mean, it's clear so you can kind of see. And then we'll steam some milk for this. Grab some, do you have a milk almond?
Almond works for me.
All right, so pour a little bit of milk in here.
You're the expert in this. Do you tend to use almond in most of your hot beverages?
I do. I'm trying to watch what I eat, drink, and almond seems to be the healthiest of the milk alternatives, especially with sugar content. Usually, we'll use a temperature gauge for this, but I think they're in the sink, so. So when you steam milk, you want it to look like wet paint with no bubbles. So that's pretty good. Then you just kind of pour it in, and it turns a nice pink color.
That's pretty.
Yeah, it's nice and festive, especially during Christmas. We have done a little bit of a variation of this beverage. We add peppermint syrup to it sometimes, and then we call it Merry Blissmas because it's an earth bliss and it's got peppermint in it. So yeah, that's what we've done this year for this. So this one just has regular simple syrup in it.
So you guys just saw how Amanda made the honey lavender lemonade and then the earth bliss. Cannot wait to try this. I'm going to start with the hot one first. I don't want to say that is my cup of tea, but that is definitely bliss in a cup right there. I don't want to say tea because it's not tea, but this is heavenly. This is absolutely delicious, and a great way to step outside the box if you're not wanting that coffee drink at the end or even beginning of the day.
Right.
All right, now let's try the honey lavender. You will regret not ordering this if you come in here during the summertime. You will definitely, this is refreshing.
Yeah, it's really good.
And how many of these did you say that you typically go through?
Oh, I can't even count. Like it's a crazy. We have people come in every day. Like they come in for their daily honey lavender lemonade fix, and they're just so upset that I took it off the menu.
Luckily, spring and summer right around the
corner. And
for
I'm
us.
probably going to bottle it this year so they could just buy it out of the refrigerator.
That's a great
I think
idea.
what's going to happen.
I love
So they can get it here and take it home with them.
What else are you, anything else in the works? What else are you working on right now? If anything?
I don't know yet. I'm still working on that orange mocha. I'm a Virgo, and like.
Me too.
Oh yeah. Yes. So like I can't let it go. I gotta perfect it and put it on the menu. So that's my goal, is to get that orange one on.
We cannot wait to try that when you do get that perfected. Just.
I didn't know I was supposed to be a perfectionist as a Virgo, because I am definitely not.
You're like, I didn't get that. And
did not get that memo. Oops. Honey lavender lemonade does sound delicious. I'm not sure if it's worth the drive all the way to Clarksville, because that's a long way.
It is, man.
Maybe I can recreate it, as you just showed me how to do it. So
that's true. Yeah, she did give away all the secrets. I just love anything. It's kind of like I've talked about it before, like the Southwest Chipotle sauce. Any sauce that color is going to be good.
Yeah.
Any drink that looks like that is good.
That purplish color, yeah,
yes,
100%. Hey, real quick before we get out of here, it's National Calendar Day, and today is a good one because technology is a beautiful thing when it works.
January 6th on the National Day calendar. Ever get the feeling that your technology is spying on you? Turns out it is, but probably not in the way you're thinking. In the 1980s, color printers were becoming popular in homes, and the government was worried that people could use them to counterfeit money. Because of this, the Xerox Corporation developed the machine identification code to track printed documents. Using a series of practically invisible yellow dots arranged in a binary code, your documents could be traced by the time, date, and printer serial number hidden on every page. This code was used successfully to track counterfeiters, and the public didn't become aware until 2004, almost 20 years later. So the next time someone talks about their phone listening to them, share this little story about their printer. I'm Marlo Anderson with the National Day Calendar. See you again tomorrow as we celebrate every day.
Oh, your printer's got you. You didn't know.
I love at the beginning. He's like, "Do you think your stuff is spying on you? Because it is."
He's definitely a conspiracy theorist. Oh, man.
Just no doubt in it at all.
Oh, Marlo, great dude. Great dude. Well,
Every day.
Justin, it's been fun. It's been so fun that we might as well do it for another week. What do you think?
You know what? Let's do it.
It is what it is. I won't be here Monday though. I will.
Oh
be,
yeah, I heard
I'll
you're
be
going to.
live at the governor's announcement for United Communications. They
Nice.
will be doing their broadband announcement on Monday, but looking forward to being back next week for a couple more days. So appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on this Friday edition of Mornings on Main Street. We will be back Monday at 10 o'clock for Mornings on Main Street, and then I'll be back on Tuesday through Friday of next week probably. And hey,
We'll go from there.
can't get away from me, can you?
No,
it's-
I think we got to give the people, like I said earlier, you got to give the people what they want, and this is right now what they want. You know,
Clearly. Let's be honest. We do have a great lineup. Main Street Today coming up here in just a few moments with Devin O'Day. And then at 2 o'clock, it is myself, you, and Mo Patton on Main Street Sports today. We've got a good one today. Jordan D. Hill of 24/7 Dogs 24/7 for Georgia is going to join us. And Teresa Walker will give us the latest in Titans news right before the Titans play on Saturday at Jacksonville for the AFC South Championship. So, and we're going to get into Jim Harbaugh, who may have lied to the NCAA and may
Really?
be facing suspension. So, yeah, that's fun. And the NCAA and the NFL decided to cancel the Bengals-Bills game. So, what does that mean? All of that coming up at 2 o'clock today. You're not going to want to miss it. Come back with us, and then come back Monday at 10 a.m. for Mornings on Main Street. Until then, I'm Chris. He's Justin. I'll see you.
See y'all.